The tale of Rizal Park is a profound narrative woven into the fabric of Filipino identity and history, transcending its initial role as a mere site of execution to become a powerful symbol of national consciousness. Its significance extends beyond the physical space, embodying complex layers of symbolism, myth-making, and historical reinterpretation. Through guided tours and scholarly discourse, visitors delve into how the park and its surrounding monuments serve as a lens into the Filipino people's struggles, aspirations, and evolving narratives of independence. At the heart of Rizal Park stands the Rizal Monument, inaugurated in 1913, a decade after the Philippines was ceded to the United States following the Spanish-American War. Officially titled Motto Stella, or Guiding Star, the monument was designed by the American sculptor Richard Kisling. It houses the remains of José Rizal, the national hero whose writings and martyrdom galvanized the Filipino nationalist movement. Guarded tirelessly around the clock, the monument is not just a resting place for Rizal's remains, but a potent symbol of the nation as aspirations and ideals. Its positioning and symbolism during the American colonial period were deliberate, emphasizing Rizal as a pacifist patriot who promoted reform rather than revolution. This framing aimed to present a more palatable hero to both Filipinos and Americans, fostering a sense of pride rooted in peaceful advocacy and rational reform rather than violent resistance. The monument's design and symbolism are rich with meaning. The three gold-plated stars on the monument represent Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, the three main geographical divisions of the Philippines, highlighting national unity. The figures surrounding the monument, such as a mother and children, underscore the importance of education, family, and future generations in the Filipino identity. Guided tours often explore these elements, emphasizing how the monument was crafted within a specific ideological context that sought to craft a unifying, pacifist hero one that could inspire patriotism without inciting revolutionary fervor. These narratives reveal how historical facts are sometimes intertwined with constructed symbols that serve political and cultural purposes. Beyond the monument itself, the park's history is deeply intertwined with the mythology of resistance and sacrifice. The site was originally known as Bagumbayan, meaning new town, but its dark past as the execution ground of 158 political enemies of Spain, including Rizal himself, adds a layer of complex symbolism. During the Spanish colonial period, this area was notorious as the site of executions, where Filipinos faced death for daring to oppose colonial rule. The transformation of Bagumbayan into a park was part of a larger project, an effort to reshape this site of suffering into a space of national pride and remembrance. By turning a place associated with death and repression into a symbol of hope and nationhood, the authorities and Filipino leaders sought to craft a narrative of resilience and rebirth. This transformation was not merely physical, but also symbolic. The park became a space where stories of heroism and sacrifice could be celebrated, where the memory of those martyred was institutionalized and romanticized. Guided tours often explore how this process of myth-making involved selective storytelling, highlighting Rizal and other national heroes as exemplars of virtue, sacrifice, and patriotism, while downplaying the violence and repression that marked its past. The park thus embodies a complex interplay between history and mythology, where constructed narratives serve to foster a sense of national identity rooted in shared sacrifice. In recent decades, modern historical tours have expanded their scope to include nuanced discussions about the figures honored within the park and the stories they represent. For instance, the distinction between bayani, heroes, and hero is often explored. The term bayani refers to those who fought and sacrificed for the nation's freedom, often in a collective sense, while hero connotes a more exalted, sometimes individualistic figure. This distinction reflects evolving perspectives on heroism and national identity, emphasizing that the struggle for independence was a collective effort rather than the actions of a single individual. Further, Contemporary tours often delve into the influence of cultural elements surrounding the park, such as Chinese and Japanese gardens, which are part of the broader landscape of Rizal Park. These gardens symbolize the multicultural influences that have shaped Philippine culture and history. The Chinese garden, for instance, reflects the historical presence and contribution of Chinese Filipinos, while the Japanese garden symbolizes the complex relations during the period of Japanese occupation in World War II. By exploring these elements, guides illuminate how the park is not only a site of Filipino patriotism, but also a space where diverse cultural narratives intersect and influence national identity. The cultural symbolism extends to the various statues, monuments, and markers scattered around the park. Each piece tells a story, some celebrating independence heroes, others commemorating key historical events. These monuments are often the subject of detailed tours that explore how political regimes and social movements have influenced the ways history is memorialized. For example, the different eras of Philippine history: Spanish colonization, American rule, Japanese occupation, and post-independence are reflected in the changing symbolism and narratives embedded within the park's landscape. Notably, the park has also been a site of political activity and social movements over the decades. It has served as a gathering place for rallies, protests, and commemorations, embodying its role as a living symbol of Filipino resilience and activism. Guided tours sometimes include discussions of these contemporary uses, emphasizing how the park continues to serve as a space for dialogue and national reflection. The evolution of Rizal Park from a site of repression to a space of active civic engagement underscores its importance as a symbol of ongoing nation-building efforts. Furthermore, modern narratives often examine the distinction between the hysterical and historical aspects of the park, a playful way of describing how emotional storytelling and factual history intertwine. The emotional appeal of Rizal as a martyr, the romanticization of his sacrifice, and the mythic qualities attributed to him are contrasted with scholarly historical analyses. This approach helps visitors understand that the stories they hear are often shaped by political agendas, cultural values, and the need to inspire patriotism. It also invites critical reflection on how history is constructed and remembered. The influence of global and regional histories is also reflected in the park's landscape and monuments. The Chinese and Japanese gardens, for example, are not just aesthetic features, but also symbols of the Philippines' historical interactions with neighboring cultures. These areas serve as reminders of trade, migration, and conflict, illustrating how Philippine history is interconnected with broader Asian narratives. Guided tours often include discussions on how these influences have enriched Filipino culture, adding layers of complexity to the national story. In sum, Rizal Park is more than just a physical space where Rizal was executed. It is a living tableau of Filipino history, mythology, and identity. Its monuments, landscapes, and stories have been carefully curated and sometimes deliberately constructed to foster a sense of national pride rooted in sacrifice, resilience, and cultural diversity. Guided tours serve as vital tools in unpacking these layers, encouraging visitors to critically engage with the narratives that have shaped Filipino nationalism. They highlight that history is not static, but a dynamic process of storytelling, one that evolves with each generation, reflecting new understandings and aspirations. The tale of Rizal Park, therefore, is a testament to the power of space and symbolism in nation building. It exemplifies how physical sites can be transformed into symbols of collective memory and identity, serving as reminders of past struggles and beacons for future aspirations. As Filipinos continue to navigate their complex history, Rizal Park remains a central reference point, a testament to the enduring power of memory, myth, and meaning in shaping a nation. Please like, share, and subscribe